The environment is the home of plants and animals. As humanity developed throughout the centuries, their home has been replaced with architecture. Not to mention that we use Mother Nature's resources daily. Our planet suffers from many environmental problems, such as pollution and global warming. Boyeros is a magnificent national park where thousands of plants and animals reside. This park is also a great place to hike and camp. Let's dive deep and learn more about what has happened throughout the years in this park. My name is Cristian Pimentel, and today I will discuss three main things in this topic. First, I will discuss fun facts about Boyeros National Park. Then, I will discuss the implications for the risk of moose becoming infected with Parvilla-Ponstrogylus tenuis. Lastly, I will discuss how mercury deposition affected this park. Let's start with some fun facts about this national park. Boyeros National Park is filled with rich history and exceptional geographic traits. Let's start with the history. According to National Parks Infographic, Boyeros National Park was established in 1971 near the Canadian border of Minnesota by Richard M. Nixon. When this national park was established, many private properties were sold to the United States government. Indigenous settlers roamed the area around 10,000 years ago when glaciers' waters receded. This national park became a gold mine for those who founded it. In the 1880s, the area was made for recreational purposes so tourism could thrive. Logging and trading beaver pelts developed successfully during the 1800s because of the fur trade. Now, let's talk about the geographic traits. It has a land area of 218,222 acres with more than 1,011 species of plants. The normal plant in this area is called bearberry. This area is the home of more than 375 species of animals. Also, more than 40,000 of the park is water, and the main way to access the park is through kayak or canoe. Sandpoint, Namakan, Rainy, and Kabetogama are the four major lakes. The park is located on the southern tip of the northern boreal forest. As you can see, this national park has a beautiful story. Now we will dive deeper into some environmental issues that have taken place. Boyeros National Park's moose species have been affected because of a parasite that is carried by terrestrial gastropods. Various species call this park their home. Terrestrial gastropods is a term used to describe snails and slugs. According to ALSIS, journal devoted to the biology management of moose, 6,895 gastropods were collected using cardboard sheets. The gastropods collected included 25 species, 22 terrestrial snails, and 3 slugs. These terrestrial gastropods reside mostly in vegetation areas around the park. The article explains that these infections happen around these specific areas. These environments are essential because snails receive the moisture and food that they need to survive. Parvilla-Ponstrogylus tenuis is a dangerous parasite that has affected the moose in this national park. Parvilla-Ponstrogylus tenuis is known as meningeal worm. This parasite is commonly found in white-tailed deer. The terrestrial gastropods are known as intermediate hosts. According to the Journal of Parasitology, it is not known why the adult worm prefers the central nervous system. The infection causes circling, head tilting, hindquarters, and increased fearlessness of humans. These infections can increase death by accidents or predation. Many moose have died in this park because of this parasite carried by snails. The moose have been affected because they consume the gastropods located in these vegetation areas. The article explains that this parasite was the probable cause of death by 5% and 20% of accidental deaths. So now that we have talked about how this parasite has affected many moose, I will discuss how mercury deposition has had harmful effects in the environment. Boyer's National Park's animals have additionally been affected by the mercury that was disposed in its precious waters. So this is how it has affected the sea ecosystems. When mercury is released from factories, it can fall from the air into the water. I would also like to mention that mercury has a much higher density than water, so that means that it will sink. So when the mercury accumulates in the water, it transforms into methyl mercury. Methyl mercury can be deadly for sea ecosystems. According to Applied Science Volume 11, Chapter 4, methyl mercury can asphyxiate fish because of its toxicity. Methyl mercury can also accumulate in other organisms throughout the cycle of the food chain. So this is how it has affected birds. According to the Archives of Environmental Contamination and Toxicology, exposure to high levels has impaired reproduction because of infertile males have higher levels of mercury when compared to fertile males. Mercury has also been found on the outer surface of their eggs. So, Boyer's National Park is a park with a rich history and outstanding accomplishments. It has also had various environmental issues that have affected the animals that call this place their home. Today, I discussed fun facts, how moose have died because of a parasite, and how has mercury affected sea life and birds. In conclusion, there are always more things that need to be done to protect the environment around us, such as keeping our lakes clean and protecting animals. I hope this speech inspired you to act. That was my speech on Boyer's National Park. Thank you. May you have a blessed evening.